The streets on Chicago's west and south sides can be very, very violent. But here in the Avalon Park neighborhood, a new resource center to get kids off the streets, all run by a man who spent decades deep in the violence. This has been Pete Keller's dream for nearly 20 years.
I remember still have to be from what you read.
The Ulan Resource Center at the corner of East 87th and Craigler Avenue in the Avalon Park neighborhood. Opened this spring as a space to get kids off the streets.
I think that Ulan has become a safe haven. You know, one of the last things on the streets that makes sense as far as any type of structure, any type of just hope that, you know, that there's a family unit still available in the hood.
Me and my boy Wayne, we read the books, we write essays about them. Then Pete grades us what we did. I've been able to gain family. You know, the people that work here, we like family.
Ulan is helping 19-year-old Devin Swint and 18-year-old Dwayne Reese stay focused on their goals. One, a budding DJ and music producer. The other, planning a career in computer science.
If I wouldn't come back, I'd probably be on the news because I used to do a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to do.
Here, kids and their families will find educational resources, resume building, jobs programs, and counseling. From a man who knows life on the streets better than anyone.
My gang experience started when I was about maybe 12.
Pete moved to the treacherous Cabrini Green housing projects in the early 80s and remained a gang member for 25 years.
Each building in Cabrini was its own world. You had to know like who had kids by who was running the building, you know, who ran the drug scene in the building. There was just all these intricacies in one building. And just remember, there were like 27 buildings in Cabrini at one time, plus the row houses. Yeah. So that's why it's always been a sense of a city within a city.
Around the corner, there's a party packed and hot, so we take the guns and ammo. He wrote music and spoken word poetry, and sold drugs, and went to prison, looking for something more in life.
The biggest thing that the gang culture does is they give you the false sense of hope that, okay, well here, you go sell these drugs and I love you. So it's a twisted, I guess you could say, idealism of love already. Because I love you because I'm giving you drugs to help you get money so that you can put shoes on your feet. But I don't tell you about the part you got to run from the police. Or I don't tell you about the part you're going to start a record early in juvenile. Or I don't tell you about the part that no one's going to come see you when you get locked up in the penitentiary. I found out, you know, the hardcore reality that yes, it is time, you know, for me to get on the other side of the fence, so to speak. Because I was living in a drug infested, crime infested, violence infested. I was actually just the, you know, what they call, you know, I guess a protege of the street. It's a drug deal gone bad. We were on the west side of Chicago, and basically there was like, it seemed like it was a hit on this young kid that was with us. We didn't know. I mean, it was one of those scenes from a movie. Yeah. You know, we're exchanging fire. My gun jams. You know, they catch up to me, and
Pete takes a bullet to the head and is left on the street for dead.
I remember dropping to my knees and saying, not like this, guy, not like this. And as soon as I said that, I heard the ambulance coming.
That was December 19th, 2005. The bullet is still lodged in his head today, a reminder of what life could have been.
I couldn't go any lower. You know, waking up in the hospital, having a patch on my eye, you know, they told me I'd never walk again. It was a realization you had to wake up, because I knew after that was my last warning. You know, had I pursued that life after that, I surely wouldn't be here today. I wanted to give back to a community that I had taken so much from poison by giving drugs. And the first thing that I did do was denounce a lot of my old associates, realizing that I can't, you know, I still love you, but I have to change my patterns, you know, who I hang with, you know, what my interests are, you know, what do I believe is really valuable now.
And that is how Ulan came to be. For many years, run out of his apartment. Today has its new home.
Ulan is actually it's an acronym for United Legion One Nation. And what I wanted to do when I was younger is I wanted to unify the city. I wanted to bring all the people together. So no matter what you were, if you were a plumber, a mason, an elk, a vice lord, a disciple, it didn't matter. Once you become a part of Ulan, your family, you drop your association, and we try to help you. Whether it be employment, you might want to go back to school, whatever it was. We were taking the gang culture, disassembling it, and filling it back with family structure.
Pete examines this in his second book, Cabrini Green, The Pete Keller Chronicles. Today he is an author, a community activist, and a teacher. And most importantly, hopeful the violence we see on Chicago streets today will be city history tomorrow.
It always feels hopeless. It does. But then there's always those moments that when a kid comes up to you and thanks you and hugs you, or their parent hugs you and says thank you for helping change my son who's just out there buck wild. I mean, there's always those silver lining moments. We just need more.